You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
You're muted.
Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to Season 3 and episode number 179 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. Today, recording day or pre-recording day is Friday, August 4th, 2023 for rebroadcast on Monday, August 7th, 2023. And a few days ahead, the Weather Network says it's going to be a cloudy day with light rain here at the Beaver Lodge. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver, and with me, as always, is my dear friend, Mr. Grizzly. Of course, a big thank you goes to our podcast's founding sponsors, the Pepper Master, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. Even though we're time traveling this Monday morning, when you are watching, we have a little nibble for you because we wanted to make sure you had something. For those of you who are on holiday still, we hope that you had a great one and that you're gonna stick the landing. Yeah. But before we go any further, let's do the thing that is the most important thing that we do on the show. Say hello to our friend, Mr. Grizzly, and ask, how's your mental health doing today, sir? Or how will your mental health be doing on Monday?
Well, sir, right at the moment, I'm pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Good.
Come this Monday, probably going to be pretty good too, because I am going glamping with my beloved. So, I'm sure that when I get back to reality,
Back to life,
well rested,
to reality.
You know what I mean. I'm babbling, mumbling, fumbling, stumbling. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. Not gonna lie, doing pretty good.
I like that. Yes, sir. I like that a lot. It's like that horse
Awesome.
on Ren and Stimpy. Yes, sir. No, sir. I don't like it. Yes, sir. I do like it. There's lots.
Happy, joy,
Like,
joy, joy.
I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs. So, lots going on in the news. We're time traveling, so this is still probably Friday news. There's no Saturday or Sunday news or even early Monday news in this, but we do have some stuff for you. And the interesting one is, it goes back on a story that we were talking about a while ago. Remember when we talked about that conservative MP, Matt Genereux, who heard that Taylor Swift was coming to town, and he wasn't happy that she
Mhm.
come to town in Canada. And then he decided that he would send a letter, but he sent the letter, I think, to the Speaker of the House of Commons to ask for something, but it was like an official grievance letter. Not exactly sure what it is that he expected to get out of that as a move. And then, sometime later, the Prime Minister put out a tweet, right? And it
A
was
jokey, tongue-in-cheek, humorous
tongue-in-cheek.
one.
So Justin Trudeau, it's actually, we have it right here up for you, if just in case people need a reminder. But it's me. Hi. It's me. Hi. I know places in Canada would love to have you, so don't make it another cruel summer. We hope to see you soon. And Conservatives lost their minds.
I don't know if this is showing up on the screen or not. Restream has been really finicky.
Yep.
So,
and people lost their minds, right?
Yeah.
So you get people going, actually pretty pathetic that the PM was involved, blah, 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 blah. All forgetting
conservative.
that this got started by some conservative guy named Matt Generu, who likes to, try to get some publicity for himself by doing things like this. Right? So, right. Politicians do stuff like this all the time. It's, right? You shouldn't poo-poo on it, but people did. But Matt Generu did it on June 21st. So 14 days later, 2 weeks later, the Prime Minister does it. Well. Mr. Grizzly, if you would put it up there. Taylor Swift. Turns out it's not the end of an era, Miami, New Orleans, Indy, and Toronto. The Eras Tour is coming to you in 2024 with Gracie Abrams. Verified fan registration for all shows is open. Now visit taylorswift.com for more information. And it will be, I think, November 14th, 15th, 16th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
6 nights.
Toronto. 6 nights over 10 days.
And that's in 2024.
It's
November 2024. So that's like a year and almost a year and a half away. And she's booked 6 nights at the Skydome Rogers Center, I guess it's called now. Still the Skydome to me because I'm of a certain vintage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she'll be the first artist to play 6 nights, and undoubtedly, all 6 will sell out.
Yep, and 3 ending on the 16th, then nothing on the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and then 21st to 23rd. So either they're staying here for those types and taking a little bit of rest, or maybe she's got an engagement somewhere else that she has to go to, and then she's flying back. But everybody associated with that show, the dancers, the people who take care of the stage or something, they're all going to be here for 10 days.
Yeah, and
hotels, food.
Did you know that she's paying them, every member of the tour, every single member of the tour, from the tech guys to the basic road crew that travels with her, because they usually have a small complimentary road crew, and when you go into another city, there's the local crew that takes care of things. But every member that is touring with her gets a $100,000 bonus at the end of the tour. Like, here's $100,000 for you. Now, some people go, "Wow, that's not a lot of money to her." Except that crew could be up to 300 people.
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
here, according to Rolling Stone, Taylor Swift gives over $55 million in bonuses to everyone.
There you go.
On the tour.
Oh, okay. So 55 million in bonuses, and total. She's adding, total. So, and everybody else is getting an extra $100,000. So I'm sure she gives bonus money to whatever the crew that she works with in whatever city she's in. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm speculating, but let's just say Taylor is paying it forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a documentary
I watched it
about her coming up too. I'm not sure if it's out already, but they showed a little.
Oh, this is a new one.
I think so. I'm not sure. I can't remember the title. I don't know if it's an old one or a new one, but they were taking a clip out of it that was going over internet, Twitter about 2 weeks ago, about her talking to her dad. Her dad was saying, like, you can't take these public positions against whatnot. And she was like, yeah, I'm doing
Yeah,
this.
that's an older doc. That's from a few years ago. I've
Okay,
seen
that's
it already. Yeah.
yeah. So it says here that one trucking company that was hired by Swift told CNN that its drivers each received a surprise check worth $130,000 Canadian, 100,000 US, over the weekend as a thank you gift, complete with a handwritten note from Swift. Michael Schirkenbach, founder and CEO of Shamotion Trucking Company, said nearly 50 truckers received six-figure bonus. He called it a life-changing amount of money that far exceeds the standard bonuses truckers usually get. The typical amount is $5,000 to $10,000 each, so this large amount is unbelievable.
Mhm.
He said his drivers were shocked when they read the amount on their checks, adding that this kind of money could help his employees put down payments on houses or set up college funds for their kids.
Taylor is paying it forward in a massive way. And people, I've had a few people, I don't think she's a very good musician. And then I've heard musicians going, oh no, she's got an ear. You might not particularly like her brand of pop music, but she's gifted.
She knows how to write a hook.
Well, number two, she also knows how to run a business. When she couldn't get her
Yeah.
records back, her publishing rights back,
Yep.
she just re-recorded her entire catalog and re-released it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love this.
That's a boss move.
Damn right it is. I'm telling you right now, Prince is in heaven looking down going, guaranteed, if you believe in that sort of, afterlife.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah. One of the probably two biggest stars in the world with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
10 days, huge crew, mega show.
Yeah.
People with money to spend because their bonuses, and they're going to be in Toronto for 10 days. All that economic activity.
Here's the thing too. So what I find interesting about it is her philanthropy. She did that quietly. Everybody else released it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's how you do
That is how you do it, right? A lot of people want.
I mean, unless you're leading something publicly,
right,
and you're putting your face to it, like this, you just do it.
Just do it.
Yep. So everybody that was saying that, oh, it's so pathetic that the prime minister was involved in this, and you're wasting your time, and so will we be giving him the credit? I mean, since he can single-handedly change the price of food and oil and everything around the world. So I'm guessing that we have to give credit for him for single-handedly convincing Taylor Swift with a tweet to come to Canada and bring all that economic activity.
Well, if you go by Pierre Poilievre's metric,
so actually,
right?
Yeah. So I'm guessing that the tweet actually wasn't pathetic, but actually pretty brilliant, and maybe it worked. So I'm handing out spatulas if people want to remove the egg from their face.
Well, I mean, realistically, right? I mean, if anything goes wrong, it's Justin Trudeau's fault. The price of groceries in the free market capitalist economy that grocery stores are. Pierre's mad, wants us to put a gatekeeper in there, right? He wants a gatekeeper on the price of groceries and houses. He wants gatekeepers on those things, but he wants to remove gatekeepers everywhere else. So Justin controls both the price of housing, the price of oil, the price of groceries by all these private corporations. He controls the airlines, but he wants to remove all the gatekeepers. So when things go bad, it's Justin's fault. When things go good, we did this, even though the we was not you. So is he gonna thank him for this? Because there's going to be millions of dollars spent in the city of Toronto in that time period. Millions. Let's not even count in the tourists that will be coming to Toronto to see that show and will be staying in hotels and eating in restaurants and buying merchandise and seeing sights. Because most of those days, I think, they're over the course of 2 weekends, are they not?
That is quite possible, yes. I'd have to check that to be sure.
Let's just pull up the old calendar here.
14, 15, 16, 21, 22, 23. Could very well be.
Let's see, 14, 15, 16, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 21, 22, 23, Thursday,
Tuesday,
Friday,
Wednesday,
Saturday. 2 weekends in November.
No. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong year.
2024.
Yep.
2 weekends in November. So, there's people come down, they'll come down on a Wednesday, go to the Thursday show and say, screw it, take the Friday, make a whole weekend out of it. There's going to be, not everybody's going to do that. There will be people who will drive in from, local area, just drive in, see the show and drive home.
Let's put it this way. If you can afford Taylor Swift tickets, you're spending money.
Yeah.
That's
It's plain and simple.
Let's not kid ourselves. These are not cheap tickets.
So Taylor Swift, hashtag Tay-Tay, hashtag T-Swizzle, hashtag Swifties. We got to give a huge shout out to this young woman who is making a difference.
But also, if we happen to have any young listeners, if you don't like conservatives, the Prime Minister of Canada made sure that Tay-Tay came to town.
You gotta put out the Trudeau did it. Hashtag Taylor Swift.
Not so bad.
Hashtag Trudeau did it. Hashtag Taylor Swift.
Yeah, except anyway, I was going to make a reference to recent happenings, but I thought better of it.
Let's not.
Now, you'd think that the short bus riding geniuses would have learned to not look foolish, to put out that hot take as soon as the Prime Minister put out that tweet, because the internet is forever, because they lost their minds when the Prime Minister made a $50 million donation, as we mentioned before, to the Global Citizens Festival in honor of Nelson Mandela's legacy in 2018. And then Trevor Noah, who was hosting the event, talked about it on a show, thus gaining for Canada an amount of publicity that was way more than the $50 million that we donated that we never could have gotten otherwise. And everybody complained when he put it out to Trevor until it got on TV. And then it's, you guys try to buy that publicity, conservatives. Is there anybody that you have that's as charismatic and gets along with people that people like and want to hear from, that if you did that, you would get coverage on The Daily Show? Yeah, didn't think so. So we have a Prime Minister that knows how to work the celebrity circuit. And like I said, we can't say that, correlation equals causation, but he put the tweet out and she responded. She didn't respond directly to his tweet, but ask and you shall receive. I'm just saying. Another story for which the Liberals have been getting a lot of criticism is their promise to plant 2 billion trees by a certain time. I can't remember the year off the top of my head that they agreed to do that. And of course, everybody says, well, you haven't planted very many and the project is going slow and all that kind of stuff. And yes, it was because, we had to first grow some saplings, and that you don't just plant a seed and then wait for a tree. You grow a sapling, and that doesn't take a year. It takes about 4 or 5 years. So trees have been being planted. Now, again, as most government programs, these things are backloaded. So in the first 2 years, the expectation was that they would plant about 90 million trees in that period, and they've planted 110 million. Now, you've had people go, 110 million, gee, or 120 million, only, 1.98 billion to go. It's like, yeah, but that's going to pick up as they get more. Now, they are having problems, however, because, again, COVID and everything, getting seeds, finding the right types of trees, because it's not like they're not planting 2 billion maples, right? You don't make a forest of just maple trees. You've got to have a diversity of stuff. And with all the forest fires, well, people are talking about trying to regenerate some forests. But basically in 2021, the program had missed its target by 3%, and now we're above it. 90 million trees expected, about 120 planted. So we're above it. Now, how it is that we are going to get, because of course here it says trees pledged. There's a graph here. I don't know if you can, whoops, that's really weird.
It's not a graph.
Let's try that again. Okay. There we go. There's a graph. Now, for some reason, they only have numbers of trees planted on this graph for 2021, not for 2022 and updated 2023. But as you can see, it's slow up until 2024. So 30 million in the first year, 60 million the next 2 years, 100 million 2024, and then it starts picking up 200 million trees in the year 2025, 290 million trees in 2026, 320 million trees in each of 2027 to 2029, and then 300 million in 2030, for a total of 2 billion. So they are ahead of where they're supposed to be. So there. So the people that keep on complaining, but I was always wondering where that was because we kept on hearing it all the time. We have to grow the saplings and whatnot. But yes, but how many have you planted? So Natural Resources Minister Jonathan Wilkinson gave us that update this morning.
Can I go back to Trevor Noah for just a split second?
Sure.
Yeah, it's just a graphic I have here from Trevor. It took me a minute to find it. That's why it took me so long to get to it. I apologize. But this is from a couple of years ago. I think Trevor Noah and Justin Trudeau have had a lot of fun back and forth over the years. Yeah. And this is the one that I like the most, I think. Justin Trudeau discussing the January 6th incident in Washington, D.C. We have to believe that at some point common sense will prevail, but we see no sign of that in this action today by the U.S. administration. That clip was shown on the Trevor Noah show. And in the second panel, for those of you who are listening, he says, "You may not have picked it up, but that's Canadian for you mofo." And Trevor said the real word. I just didn't want to.
That's when you know Canadian's mad.
Yeah. I honestly, they've had a lot of back and forth over the years. And again, when he sent that tweet out to Trevor Noah, and Trevor just boom, he promoted the hell out of it.
Right away.
Like the PR, the money that buys, the power that buys. You gotta understand, you can use social media to help disadvantaged individuals. You can use it for good when you choose to. And that was one of those cases, sir.
Yep, absolutely. This morning on the show, we talked about the jobs data, and it hadn't come out. But hey, since we're time traveling, we already have it for you.
So that was Friday morning on the show.
Friday morning on the show. Yeah.
Today on the show.
Today on the show, we have the numbers for you. According to the CBC, there was little change to Canada's job market in July as the unemployment rate inched up ever so slightly to 5.5%, according to data released by Statistics Canada on Friday. Most notably, compensation for workers spiked up as average hourly wages grew 5% after similar gains in May and June. And if the CPI is rising at 2.8 and wages are growing at 5, that's a very nice little bit of wages catching up to inflation a little bit. I know that the Bank of Canada doesn't want that to happen all that much, but people need to eat. And food inflation is still at 9.1%. So I say keep it coming. Thank you very much. The Canadian economy lost 6,400 jobs, with the unemployment rate increasing for a third consecutive month, but it really statistically comes to 0.0% up or down. I think it's like, when you round up to or round down, wherever it is, based on what it was before. That's what caused it to go up one. So we're pretty much treading water, essentially. Economists had predicted a gain of 25,000 jobs. Don Desjardins, chief economist at Deloitte Canada, said that while the jobs report was weaker than expected, we're not looking at a terrible labor market by any stretch. So that's always good stuff. The labor market, as we mentioned on Friday, is becoming a little more challenging. There's not as many job vacancies as there were, so you have to work a little harder to find a job, but there are still plenty of them. That's not a problem, and through most sectors as well. I believe that the U.S. also had their data today come out, and it was also a little weaker than expected, 187,000 jobs, and but the unemployment rate going down to 3.5, a little bit. So good data. We'll see what, given that it's treading water, we'll see what the Bank of Canada does that, because it's not that much job creation, but the wages are still... I know they're higher than what the Bank of Canada would like, but I'm just hoping they leave us alone for a little bit.
No kidding.
It's getting up there. It's getting up there, I have to say. But yeah, that's the data, and so nothing earth-shattering, nothing earth-rocking, and I don't suspect that the governors of the Bank of Canada would have expected that wage increases or wage growth would have gone down from 5.1, which was the last time, to 0 or 2 in 1 month. So there's probably hopefully, if we keep our fingers crossed, a few more months of wages catching up to inflation. I'm just hoping that that doesn't come accompanied with interest rate hikes to sort of claw the money back as soon as it comes in.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because that's essentially what's happening. All right. Those were the sort of big ticket items, if I remember correctly, that we had. And what I wanted to do today with the rest of the show is I had a couple of stories, all having to do or in some way or another with health that are sort of
Okay.
accumulated. Just some, news you can use type information.
Speaking of health, I got to get back to the gym. Winter's coming, and I want to be in good ski shape. I should have worked on my beach body, but
I don't know.
haven't been to the beach yet.
I don't know what's happened over the last week and a half because I'm still playing tennis and eating relatively well, but I put on 3 kilos somehow.
Don't look at me.
I haven't changed a thing to what I was doing. That made me lose like 25 pounds. And then like the other day I looked up and said, how did I put on 3 kilos this week?
Perhaps you need a laxative.
Hey,
I'm saying
it's
maybe
as
you're full
theory
of
as
shit.
any other. It's as good as theory. I'm full of something. That's for sure. The Canadian Institutes for Health Information put out a report recently saying that things such as massive surgery backlogs, major staffing shortages, and millions of Canadians without a family doctor. The new report, which is part of a federal-provincial pact to share more health data with Canadians, based on funding that was recently given by the federal government, says that over 740,000 surgeries were put on hold during the early years of the pandemic. Newfoundland and Labrador cut surgeries by more than 20%, for example. The drop in procedures was more pronounced for people living in low-income neighborhoods. Roughly 1 in 10 Canadians say that they don't have a regular health provider, and it's getting harder for staff to avoid burnout. Quote, from one of the people that worked on the report is quoted as saying, if you're from a low-income working class community, you're even farther behind in terms of accessing surgery than other people in Canada. And unfortunately, this is not a new pattern. They were saying that healthcare teams throughout Canada, all combined, worked a total of 18 million hours of overtime between 2020 and 2021. All this data does not include any data from Quebec, who refuses to provide figures. A spokesperson for the province said that they already report their own data, whatever that means. So, yeah, that's the state of 740,000 surgeries. That's a lot of people living with discomfort or pain or limited lives for much longer than they needed to. Health Canada says that it is now aware of 26 reports of suicidal thoughts associated with type 2 diabetes weight loss drugs like Ozempic. European and UK medicine agencies are doing similar investigations. Sean Wharton, an obesity doctor, is quoted as saying, every medication that comes onto the market needs to be looked at for adverse side effects. Anyone who is actively seeking weight management is at a higher risk of suicidal ideation, and that's been documented in clinical trials. So the question is this just a correlation or is it causation? So they will be doing more research. But if you happen to be one of the people who got onto the fad of taking type 2 diabetes weight loss drugs like Ozempic to try and lose weight, even though you don't need them for diabetes, there might be smarter ways to achieve that end. Just saying. Also, with regard to sports, researchers are calling on hockey leagues to raise the age for body checking to 15 years old from what it is now, which I believe is 12 or 13. Dr. Christian Goulet of the University of Ottawa led a review of the research and says that as policymakers, as adults in the room, we have to do everything possible to make the sport as safe as we can. You can decrease the instance of concussions 2 to 3-fold, upwards 70 or 80% by limiting body checking. Now, of course, we always have some hockey purists, that says, well, it is a contact sport. Right. So, there's an author and hockey historian Liam McGuire is quoted as saying, "It's a collision sport. It's a contact sport, even for kids. Taking a hit and throwing a hit is a skill that should be taught and coached properly, just like skating, shooting, and passing." And that is true. However, Goulet has stated that recent studies from the University of Calgary show that the opposite is true, in that the longer you can delay the implementing of body contact, the less injury these kids are going to have. So it seems that there might be, even though you want to start the kids early enough and make sure that they have the proper technique for doing that, it still seems that 13 might still be too young with regard to concussions.
So when did that change? Because when I played AAA hockey when I lived in Trenton back in the mid '70s, and we had full contact. And I was in novice.
Okay. We had no contact when I played in Pee Wee and Bantam, but then after that we could.
Of course, it was the '70s. Helmets were optional at the time.
Yeah. That's when I played. Helmets were not optional. But I only played 2 years, and I don't have a career to write home about. 0 goals, 0 assists. I think I had a great plus minus and 2 penalty minutes. Unintentional penalty minutes, during which I cried. I didn't mean to hit him. Just nobody had taught me how to stop.
Well,
no brakes, no brakes. Get out of the way, skate faster. Crunch. That was my career as an enforcer.
Accidentally enforced.
Accidentally enforcing.
I think we may, and this is purely speculation on my part, but I think we may see a day where hitting is removed. Let me rephrase that. I think there may come a day, not we'll see a day. It won't happen in my lifetime. I really don't think so. I mean, fighting is a rare thing in the league these days. They've done their utmost to try and cut it down and bring it out. And I think eventually they'll try and remove body checking or hitting, because if they don't do something about it, eventually people are just going to say too many concussions and my kids aren't going to play. Right? That's literally what it's coming down to. Same thing with kids who play soccer. They're not allowed to head the ball until a certain age.
And they're even with hitting the ball with your head now.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Head ball. Oh, head the ball. Sorry, I heard hit the ball.
Head the ball.
Sorry.
No, head the ball with your You have to be, I think, 16 or 17. Honestly, when you get concussions in soccer, it's because of intense heading of the ball.
Yeah.
Because you're literally shaking your brain inside your head while you're doing it, because it floats in fluid, right?
That's why if you ever have a spinal tap, you need to remain horizontal for a good long while, like a day and a half or something after, because if the pressure in where your brain rests in the liquid changes, suddenly it's not floating in the liquid, it's resting on something, and that hurts like hell. I've experienced it personally. It is the worst pain I've ever experienced in my entire life. I went to the hospital and they put me on a bed that was actually tilted downwards for 5 days, because that's how long it took to regenerate enough fluid so that you can stand upright again. So,
well, I've had a few spinal taps in my day. So,
yep, they forgot to tell me to stay horizontal. So I sat upright like for the next 8 or 9 hours. And then all of a sudden, Thanks, people. All right, let's see. We have a few minutes left, so I'm going to move away from the health news because you just sent me 2 things in my DMs, Mr. Grizzly, which are really, really important. It's a story I was aware of. I wanted to make sure that we had enough time to talk about it. I'm not sure if we will have enough time to give it the justice that it deserves, but we'll talk about it. The other day, my Beaver sweetie and I were the victims of a verbal assault from a neighbor who we had, I guess, a misunderstanding with regard to a renovation contract that we were looking to give. We were asking for estimates. They assumed that they had been hired for some reason, and when they found out they weren't, the next time we had interactions with them, the F word came out. Well,
And it wasn't starting with F and ending in UCK.
no, and it wasn't.
Rhymes with tag.
Yes, and it wasn't fabulous,
No.
or fairs. So we reported it to the police. The police did have a talk to the gentleman. The report coming back is that he seemed to be quite contrite and embarrassed by the fact that he had done that. They did deliver the message that we were willing to let bygones be bygones. Apparently, he called the station again the next day to really apologize. I guess that's nice. It would be nice if the apology came to us, but hey, we'll take it. That's what the constable reported back to
steps,
us.
right?
Baby steps, we'll take it. But the other day, I was on my bike, and a couple of days we were on our bike, and whenever we passed each other, something like that, he had his head down or doing something that we couldn't make contact. But the other day he was talking to a neighbor, and I just put my head up and big smile and hi, and he said hi back. And so hopefully the ice is broken. Now, we decided when we reported that we did not want to pursue this legally to the full extent, but we did want to send him a warning that this was unacceptable, and we did want to leave the door open by saying, listen, we're willing to pass the sponge on this and assume it's a blip and not your character. Not everybody's like that. Not all instances are the same. We had a friendly relationship before for 2 years, and he knew we were gay. So we can assume. There's another incident that happened in Calgary recently. A guy on Twitter, I think, that goes by Mr. Fab, I believe.
Mr. Fabulous. Yeah, I started to follow him after Lisa did a thing about it.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm going to have to follow Mr. Fabulous because, well, he is.
Yes.
But the thing I sent you, I thought was
we'll get to that. So he was in Calgary at one point and spotted a rainbow crosswalk.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess
I think they were still in the process of painting it at the time.
Yeah,
it wasn't even completed.
Yeah, it was, and I think he was happy and made, I guess, a good comment about it or something. And then some crusty old, allegedly heterosexual, allegedly cisgendered white man came by and had a disparaging comment to make. And then, of course, this was being caught on video, used the F word, and then said something like, you're not even human, or something, and then walked away by saying all the F words as he walked away. Now,
started with, you're not human. Then he went to, there's only genders.
Yes.
And you don't have a right to exist.
Pretty much, yeah. Now, apparently people on the internet decided to get all together and say, let's identify this man and make him famous.
It's up to you whether or not you want to put it on the screen.
I'm
leaving it in your hands, sir.
I am let me put it this way. I'm okay. I don't know if this person is him.
Right. So that's right.
We don't know. That's my hesitation. If I knew for sure, absolutely, that was him, I would put it up. But we don't know for sure. But it sure looks like him.
Well, and I love the commentary.
If it's not him, like he's got like a clone somewhere.
Well, the comment in the tweet that I sent you, it's like, Calgary bigot has been outed. Well, person's name. I have been at several house parties with you. You didn't call me that word, likely because our mutual friends would have roasted you. At least now I know what you really think.
Ooh, okay.
So
maybe.
And it says you may find him at the bar at such and such a place.
Ooh.
It's one of his hangouts. If you see him, say hi from me.
Ooh, yeah, that's.
Yeah, I don't want to amplify that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's inviting. I understand the emotion.
Yes,
I fully understand the emotion. But that could be inviting something.
There's a fine line.
And I think it's been crossed there.
There's a fine line. I think we should show the video of the incident.
Yeah. Okay. If you want, I'll show the video.
Yes.
I have it queued up, ready to go.
Hold on. no, actually, we can't. Can you take over for a second? We have somebody here to repair the washing machine, and I have to let them.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
no problem. You do that. Put yourself on mute, and I'm going to share this video, which for those of you who have not seen this, if you've not seen it yet, I'm going to give you the trigger warning because, yeah, it's triggering. It's violent. It is vicious. It is personal, and you've been warned.
Fag. You don't like it? What did you just say to me? You're a fucking fag. Fuck off. You're not human. There's only two genders.
Say it again. Say it for all the people to hear.
Oh, fuck you.
Say it again.
You fucking faggot, queer. Fuck off. Fag. You don't.
So that was pretty bloody harsh. The person has been identified. Again, allegedly identified. We don't know if this is the right person. And some of the things that are, I mean, he FA'd and oh boy, is he about to FO. And there's a photograph here I'll put on the screen so you can see it of the, and then the reason I want to put it on the screen is because it has the photo of the completed crosswalk. That's not it. 1 second. Because you see in that video they're not done painting. So let's just blow this up so you can see it just a little bit better. And this is actually the finished result. I am told it's the finished result. I don't live in Calgary, so that's obviously a Calgary police cruiser. And there looks like the finished result, because in the other video you could see that the sidewalk, the walkway was clearly not completed at that point. So yeah, so that happened, and like I said, by the time this airs, maybe he's fully identified and tried to make amends, or I don't know. I don't think he was pretty harsh. Actually, who's kidding who? He was downright awful. That was totally uncalled for. You don't have, what did he say? You don't have let's go back to the tape there, because I got to get the words right. I mean, it's like, what did he say? He called him he said, okay, you're a F off, you're not human, and then went on the two genders rant. I'm like, well, what? Guy's been down the QAnon rabbit hole, it would seem, or whatever rabbit hole that they say the groomers go to. Those rampant fools who call everybody pedos and groomers and this and that. 9 times out of 10, guess who the pedos and groomers turn out to be? 9 times out of 10. Accuse the other side of that which you are guilty, right? That's how Goebbels did it, I think, if memory serves. And that's exactly what took place here. Well, let me rephrase. I shouldn't say that. I don't know that this man is that, but he did what they very often do and accuse the other side of that which they are guilty. So I don't know that he did that. I don't know that he is guilty of such a crime, is what I'm trying to say. But what he said, what he did, he dehumanized this man. Dehumanized him. Said, you're not even human.
Yeah, that's way worse than what happened to us.
Oh God, yes.
And he did it
like this guy went on a rampage. He did it with anger.
He knew there was a camera.
Yeah. So he didn't care.
The guy who did it to us also did it with anger, but he didn't.
But you stepped to him and he flinched.
Yes, but he didn't.
This guy followed him with a camera, said, tell everybody on the internet so everybody will know.
Yeah.
And he still did it.
Wow.
Like, what the hell is wrong with people? Look, there's 2 sides to this. I have 2 feelings about this. Number one, what the hell is wrong with people? Everybody has a camera in their pocket. It's all going to be online. Number one. So why would you say something like that? And number 2, I'm glad these idiots keep outing themselves in public for all the world to see.
Yep.
So that's my 2 sides take on that. It's like, what is wrong with you? Everybody has a high definition camera in their pocket that they can live stream to planet Earth in real time. Everybody has that. And you behave like this?
Yeah.
And you knew he had a camera on you. You saw him do it.
Now, here's the thing. That if this person is the person that's being identified, this person owns a business.
Not for long. Nobody's going to want to associate with him. He's about to find out. I mean, if it is who they say he is, his business is done. I mean, it's finished, man. Because what institution would want to deal with him or be associated with him in any way, shape, or form, especially when you consider that in a large amount of that particular sector of employment, there are a lot of rainbow people that work in those jobs.
Yeah.
So if you're a company, you got to stand up for your employees because you cannot tolerate that type of behavior. Even though you probably have a few folks like that in your organization, but you cannot be seen publicly associating or dealing with a man like this. He just flushed his business down the toilet. And you know what? It's his own damn fault. He's no one to blame but himself. He did this. Now, has he got a wife and kids? I don't know. He's in his 70s. He must be in his 70s. From what I understood, he graduated in 1967. So if he graduated at 18 in 1967, add 56 years on that, do the math.
Yeah. Now, the Calgary...
75.
Right.
74?
Yeah. Calgary police says they're investigating the incident. So it was a pride sidewalk near Central Memorial Park downtown, if you're familiar with Calgary. Wow. Said the person who, Mr. Fabulous, said that the person involved in question initially made a comment about the private funding for the installation of the Pride sidewalk. And when Mr. Fabulous said that he supported the initiative, things escalated and the man hurled homophobic and transphobic slurs at him. Now, that's because a lot of people said, oh, hold on, I have to step out for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Go ahead. I got you. Yeah, a lot of people said, oh, okay, there were a lot of comments that said, well, what was the interaction before this, before the camera started rolling? I don't know what it was, but that was not a called for response. Unless, you accuse the man of eating babies and plotting to kill the Pope or something. Come on. Not a suitable response. Hurling hate at somebody in the streets, which is a public forum, whether you like it or not, it is. You have zero expectation of privacy in public. That's the rule and law of the land. You can film anybody in public. They can't say anything. They can yell at you. They can say, stop filming me. But the rule has come down that you have no expectation of privacy in a public setting. So if you do something crooked and bad and evil and terrible like that man did, that is what should happen each and every single time. So, no expectation of privacy in a public space. That's what's going to happen because everybody's got an HD camera in their pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. So Thursday, the city confirmed that the man in the video who was hurling slurs was issued a ticket by bylaw peace officers following his verbal attack. Quote, we can confirm that our peace officers were on the scene shortly after this incident. Upon speaking with the victim and bystanders, peace officers identified the man making the harassing comments and issued a ticket under the public behavior bylaw. The victim was also offered counseling, resources, and support. As a reminder to Calgarians, the public behavior bylaw restricts harassment of another person in a public space. Infractions have a specified penalty of $500 and can result in higher fines if there are aggravating circumstances. Every report and potential violation of this bylaw will be approached seriously and investigated. More information can be found. Now, again, this guy, right, just random attack and fully dehumanized. Slightly different than our situation.
Yes,
and as you would remember, in that case, I would have pursued it to this point.
Oh yeah,
but we live four doors down. We would like our neighborhood
to be peaceful.
Yeah. So and also our attitude was, we're going to stand up for ourselves, right? Well, you can go, but only this far, right? And hopefully show that we're better people. I think so, because we could have gone for the money.
Oh, yeah. But standing up for yourself is always important. And you have to remember, if you don't stand up for yourself, they will continue to push and push and push and push because they think they can get away with it. When you push back, it usually scares the hell out of them. And then they become, a lot of them, not everybody, some of them become keyboard warriors and will hurl more stuff at you. And it's like, all right, meet me in the pub, sit down across the table from me and have a beer with me. I'm willing to have a conversation with you. You know how many people I've said that to? And you know how many people have actually met me?
Right.
It's a donut, my friends. Nobody.
Yep.
Not a single person.
Yep. Yep. So again, Mr. Fabulous.
Yep.
Good on you.
Yep.
Good on you.
Good on you.
Every single time, report. And when it's this nasty and violent, just if there's money in it, go get yours. Don't get mad, get everything.
Well, it's here's the thing. You know how they say the death penalty isn't a deterrent, and it isn't. And prison tends not to be a deterrent because it largely isn't. Otherwise, they wouldn't do the crime if they thought they were going to get caught. But this is different, right? So here's what I'm getting at here. It is a deterrent to do that because when you do it, you will be named and shamed in the public square. You will lose your livelihood, probably lose a lot of friendships. Your business, gone. It is a deterrent because this is different than having to go to jail for 3-6 years. And the death penalty, we don't have that in Canada because it's not an actual deterrent. And besides, anyway.
You get a social sentence.
The social sentence is, in many cases, is far worse because this man is now unemployable. He's just destroyed his business. He has, period, because there's no company that will want to deal with his. We're not going to say what it is, but I mean, as you know, a lot of rainbow folks work in the industry that he works in, and guess what? Mm-hmm. No company wants to be associated with that kind of hatred. Mm-hmm. So he's done. He's finished. He did it to himself. He's nobody to blame but himself. And this is what will push them back into the shadows, which I don't know.
It has to happen every time.
I know. Well, yeah. No, that has to happen every time. It's just, I don't know if pushing them back into the shadows is necessarily good because then we don't know who they are. Double-edged sword.
I hear that in the States all the time with the free speech. If you got something to say to me, come say it to my face. And it's like, no, I'm Canadian. I'm going to talk about you behind your back because I was raised right.
Yeah.
So,
well, this is the thing,
and
right?
People say, I like my bigots where I can see them. It's like, I don't like my bigots to be seen at all. Thank you. I don't like them to get any airtime. It's like if you're doing a little thing with your friends over here or there in the corner, that's fine. If you do something, step out of the line, we'll still see you. We'll catch you. But no, I don't want my bigots where I can see them. I want my bigots to be freaking so uncomfortable to be a bigot and know that it's not right to be a bigot that they don't dare open their mouths and say it. They only think it.
Well, what was the hat I saw not too long ago? It said "Mabag." M-bag. Make bigots afraid again.
Yeah. Or at least uncomfortable. So yeah. Like I said, Mr. Fabulous, wonderful. Thank you. Way to go.
Well done.
Well done. From what I hear, I'm not sure if he'd be willing to do full media with face and everything, but I guess I could reach out and ask.
Yeah, reach out.
But yeah,
reach out. See if he'd like to come on the show. Send him links to a couple of episodes to let him know who we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want people to feel comfortable.
Yep. Mr. Grizzly, do we have a show?
We do have a show. There was one other thing we wanted to get to, but we do not have time today, unfortunately. So we can deal with it next show. We'll talk about the other thing I sent you, and I think maybe we can have some time to talk about it too on Tuesday, tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow's show. We'll have time to talk about that.
5 days.
Tomorrow's show.
Time traveling is fun. Shh. All right, kids and cubs, peeps and poops. We thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. We hope that you love listening to us because we love making this for you. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Remember that sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. So let everybody know that we are here.
Yes, please.
You are the influencers in your circle. Just to let you know. Because democracy is something that you do. If something like this happens to you, and it doesn't have to be gay, gender, race, physical ability, mental ability. And all the isms, all the
the
protected
isms.
charters, classes in the charter. Report, 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 report. Be like Mr. Fabulous. Be fabulous. Be fierce. Report. If you really like this podcast, you can find us on the Crier Media Network as well as all Beaver Grizzly friendly platforms. Stars and reviews are appreciated. And also, if you happen to witness someone, provide a witness statement and have someone's back. Don't just walk away. Stand there and let them know. If they're saying, "Hey, that's
Don't
not
stand
okay,"
idly by.
yeah,
Yeah, don't stand idly by when you see something like that. Call it out each and every time. And here's the thing. It's easy for me, cis het white blue jacket guy, to say that. I understand that. Maybe it's dangerous for you to call it out right there in that place and time. Do not put yourself in danger.
Absolutely.
But you can call it out online, immediately online. You can tweet about it immediately online. You can call 911 on the spot. You can comfort the victim immediately thereafter. There are ways that you can help right on the spot. Again, I know it's a lot for me to say, just call it out right there, right in their face. I come from a place of extreme privilege. I fully understand that. But you can call it out in different ways. Put it on put them on what do they call blast. Put it on blast.
Take out your cell phone. Make sure you get it from another angle.
Put it everywhere. Blast it out. Shoot video. Throw it on your YouTube channel. Send it to the news. Make it heard. Don't let these people get away with this. Because hate has no place in society.
Yep. This place is a dump. Let's clean it up. Well, it's not a dump, actually, but some people are trying to make it a dump. Let's put it that way. Let's not let them.
So if you've been feeling a little stressed about it, if that video was at all triggering to you, in the least bit, please feel free. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now, and that'll take you to my AMSR channel. I will be doing a show at 9:30 p.m. Monday. That is today. I will be doing a show at 9:30 p.m. I go live. It's a live stream. There's a chat available. It's a very calming place for you to have a discussion about your mental health. We leave politics at the door.
Religion at the door.
Yes. I want you to come to me to help heal your tortured soul.
There you go. We love to hear from you here too. So if you have something to say, we want to know about it. So reach us on our Facebook at True North Eager Beaver, our Twitter feed at True Eager, or by email at truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com. And if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, well, why not make like Kit Elaine and smash those buttons? The like button, but also the subscribe button. Yes, because that helps us out so much, and we really appreciate it. We can't do this without your kind and generous support, so if you feel that we've done a particularly good show, if you're watching, you can scan the QR code by Mr. Grizzly's head there, and that will bring you to the Eager Beaver Lodge Emergency Hydration Fund, where our friends Cafe and César and Chocolat Chaud and Guinness, good lad, that guy, help us.
Good artist, lad.
Oh, yes. Help us do everything that we do in order to bring this up to you. So if you enjoy what we do, scan that squiggly or let your fingers do the walk-in or use your voice command and do like Kit Plane Power did. I had hockey on my mind for some reason, power play instead of power. But Kit Plain Power did when he made a donation to us live on air on Friday with a simple message of thank you. Well, you are welcome and thank you for being part of our family. We really enjoy it and we appreciate your presence. You go to ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, all in one word, lowercase letters. That's ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase, all in one letter, all in one word in lowercase letters. My mouth went faster than my brain. And that's where you can make your donation.
Squirrel.
Need to catch that one back.
Squirrel.
From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, until next time, dear kids, it could be a tough world out there. So please, 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 please be kind to and gentle with yourself and have someone's back. Mr. Grizzly, some words of wisdom, please.
Yeah, as I was saying just a moment or two ago about how, to call it out when you can. And if you feel threatened, I've got your back.
And I got your front. Sometimes they like to come at you from the front. Not a lot of them, but sometimes they do.
I'll be standing right behind you, ready to raise my voice if needed. And I don't know if you've noticed, I've kind of got an angry sounding voice. And then when I do one of these, it's like, try me, you son of a bitch. That usually threatens people and makes them want to walk away.
Dang. That was this.
And I apologize if I've insulted anybody's mom.
But that was scary.
Well, that's the point, right? Intimidation.
Yeah, when you scrunch that brow and narrow those eyes. Yee.
Yeah, I can do a little bit of acting.
You mean business. Woo. Mr. Grizzly, some words of wisdom.
That was it.
That was it.
I got your back. That was it. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to stand up for somebody, I want you to know I got your back. I'm here for you.
All right.
So, don't put yourself at risk. Do what you can
Live
in the moment.
Another day.
Yes. And I can't tell you have to make that judgment call. I can't do it for you unless I'm standing there beside you, in which case I will be in their face.
All right, Mr. Grizzly, please roll those credits.
I will do that, sir.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Before we go, we didn't mention it on a previous show, but recently we found out about the passing of Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman. He had a lot of fans, and he's on the record as saying that he wanted people to think of Pee Wee Herman as a live individual person and not just a character. So I think mission accomplished there, sir. His life was not without controversy, but overall, it seems that everybody loved him, that he was absolutely fantastic to his fans. He died after a private bout with cancer at the age of 70. But Pee Wee Herman was not his only role. He had several other roles. Probably his most famous other role was when he was on Murphy Brown for a while. Seemed to be a gem of a man.
Did you recognize him in the movie Blow?
Yes, as well.
Right?
Yes.
He was very good in that.
Yeah.
Because at first you didn't recognize him. It was like, oh, wait a minute. Holy crap.
Yeah. And also Angus Cloud, at the age of 25, the star of Euphoria. Suspected suicide, and it seems that he was not coping very well following the passing of his father. Was going through a lot. So two bright lights gone, and even if Paul Rubens was 70, we can still say gone too soon there. And on a happier note, some congratulations to some Canadians who have done us proud at the World Para Swimming Championships. Danielle Doris has picked up 2 gold medals for Canada in the pool, one in the 100-meter backstroke final for her class, and one in the 50-meter butterfly in her class, S7. In the 50-meter butterfly, it was a gold-silver podium for Canada, with Tess Routliff winning the silver in that race. So great for them. And the 100-meter breaststroke, another gold-silver podium for Canada, with Tess Routliff this time getting the gold, and Abby Tripp getting the silver. And finally, in the men's 100-meter breaststroke, Nicholas Bennett picked up a silver. You guys and girls are doing us so proud. It's absolutely fantastic. Keep rocking, Canada.
I got 2 quick tidbits for you. Art history. A British couple found a lost John Constable painting worth as much as $2.5 million in a guest wing of their castle.
There's an everyday headline. In the guest wing of my castle, I happened to have found.
A real reminder to check the guest wing of your castle. You may have an ancient painting. And the other thing I wanted to announce, a bit of sad news here. Just a second, I'll bring it up here. Marc Margolais, who was an actor. He played. Here, I'll show. I'll put his picture on the screen so you'll know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of the character he played on Breaking Bad, but as soon as you see his face, you'll know who I'm talking about. Died today at the age of 83. He played the. What was the name of the character on Breaking Bad? But he's been in a ton of stuff. He's had a very long career, and he always played the villain so well. So sad news. That just happened a few months ago on. Oh no, I guess that was a few days ago. Actually, that happened a few days ago.
Portraying Hector Salamanca.
Thank you, Salamanca. I wanted to say Salmantico, but I couldn't remember the name of that. Anyway, this is Friday when we're taping this, so you probably already know about this. But hey, it would be remiss of us not to.
And while we were recording the show, just to mention, because I just took another look before we go, 2 more medals at the World Paraswimming Championships for Canada.
Nice.
Shelby Newkirk in the women's 50-meter freestyle, and Nicholas Bennett, who we had just talked about having won a silver, won a gold in the men's 200 IM final. So there you go. Just
nice.
Kicking ass. Make us proud to be Canadian. Thank you. All right. See you tomorrow, kids.
All right. Take care.